Greetings. My name is Robert Shapiro. I want to tell you a little something today. It's kind of interesting. And you might notice my eyes sort of wander up like this and that at times. Just don't let that surprise you. When I do that, I'm always trying to remember things. Something I've always done. So, anyway, some of you have noticed when reading my books that where it shows a brief biography of the author, it says that I've had extraterrestrial contacts on and off during my life. It's true. I want to tell you about one particular event. I'm not going to give you a lot of details leading up to it and after it and so on, because I'm preparing with Conscious Goddess Productions a video, and it's being worked on right now. It'll give more details. But I just want to say a little more about the book because I didn't go into that too much in that video. So, the book, eh? When I was very young, I had a contact with beings from Zeta Reticuli. They were really unusual looking. But considering how young I was, they weren't that intimidating. They were humanoids, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head and a body. The really major difference is that the top of their heads is a little bit bigger, comparatively speaking, than the rest of their head. More so than the way we look. So, anyway. Oh, and they also have pretty big eyes. I'm not sure why, but they just do. So, one of the major things that occurred during this contact when I was very young is that they allowed me to have this book for a while. And I remember keeping it in my closet when I was a youngster under a pile of blankets shoved way in the back. I don't know what I was hiding it for, but maybe because it was so unusual. And a contact like that, when you're very young, and that was in the 50s, meaning the 1950s, okay? That kind of contact really, it was so, how can I say, different, to put it mildly, from the rest of the events in my life. I think I didn't really know how to deal with it very well. I'm not sure anybody did in those days. Anyway, the book. The book was really magical. The pages, they were just incredible. Okay, I'll get to it. Details. The book was about, I think it was about this wide, if you can see that, I hope you can, and about this tall, meaning, I'd guesstimate that it was about 7 to 8 inches wide by maybe 10 or 11 inches tall, and it was about yay thick. And it was not like a hardcover book, except that it had printing on the cover that was not like any alphabet that I knew then, or I might say have seen since, although there were some letters that were vaguely similar to something I've seen somewhere. Anyway, I'm assuming they're letters. They might have been symbols, who knows. But the amazing thing about the book, which you could really notice when the room was dark, okay, was that it was like light was coming out of the book. It was a book of light, literally. And you'd open the cover, it would open like any other hardcover book, but the pages were light. And I remember, not wanting to touch them. You have to keep in mind that I was a little boy, and I didn't know whether I should touch them or not. And then I would reach out and touch a page, and there was like energy. It felt like something. And I remember you couldn't just grab a page and turn it over. But the pages sort of sprung up the way they do with any book when you open them like that. And in order to turn the pages over, you had to, this is what I discovered, you had to get a hand under one side of the page, and then on your other hand, under you had the page completely supported. You basically had to contact the page with both your hands, and then you sort of turned it over like that. It was wild. I remember each page was a slightly different color. And when the room was fairly dark, not completely, but fairly dark, at night, it would just light up the ceiling, and the light was just awesome. Anyway, I had the book for a while because the contact happened over a period of days, just at a certain time of the night, obviously my bedtime, but into it a ways. Anyway, towards the end of the contact, I remember the being that I was in touch with then, whose name was Hoopa, that being said, now take the book out. And I remember rummaging around in the closet and getting the book out and put it on the bed, which I did. It was a small bed in a small bedroom. And Hoopa he took his hand. It was his left hand, and he sort of waved it over the book. Now, it's not impossible that he might have had something in his hand that did this, but I didn't see anything. He sort of waved his hand over the book, and then there wasn't light anymore. And it still had the letters and so on the front of the book. And if you opened the book cover up, then it was just written, and there was all kinds of letters from that alphabet. And like any child, I said, "What happened?" And Hoopa said, "We made the book in such a way that you could absorb something from it, experience something from it." Only he said it in a simpler way that a child might understand, but I'm interpreting it, okay, in a more adult method, obviously. And then I said, and what does it mean? What does the writing mean? Well, Hoopa said, to put it in the simplest way, it's a book about how to be a good ambassador. So I said, well, why would you? And he could tell I was trying to say, why would you share that with me? And he said, we're hopeful that someday, when the time comes for our people to be interacting with your people on Earth, that there'll be a few people who will feel at ease with us and be able to interpret our intentions, because our intentions are entirely peaceful. We really want to be your friends, but it's too soon, and it might be 50 or 60 or more years in the future. And of course, like any child, I said, well, why can't it be now? And Hoopa sort of chuckled and said, well, you'll just have to wait for that. Anyway, I wanted to give you those details because we weren't able to put them all into the video that will be coming up at some point, that will probably be available from my publisher. She hasn't decided how she's going to distribute it yet, but I'll let you know when it's available. But you've got these extra details now, and I hope you got a kick out of hearing about it. My experiences with the Zeta Reticulan beings over the years have been entirely positive. So I don't know about other people's experiences. I'm not saying that their experiences weren't, what they said they were. I have every reason to believe them. But my experiences were entirely positive, and I feel really good about them. So, well, that's it. I hope you like this little talk. Good life.